What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make Indigo Park in Minecraft. I want to say this is part 15. I forgot to check before I recorded this. And in this one, we're going to be starting off this outdoor area. We're going to get the fountain in and also the buildings kind of here in this corner marked. This corner one and then the Lord one. That's all though. So that being said, enjoy the tutorial and I will catch you on the flip side. Alright, let's start this off, shall we? Get out the following materials. Oak planks, birch planks, birch slabs, dark oak planks, stone slabs, red nether bricks, cyan terracotta, and I think polished deep slate and polished deep slate slabs will be our way to go. Starting from the... which side? The right side. Sure, why not? I want to take the... if I'm looking at the staircase here, I want to take this frontmost fence. And to the right of it, I want to place 51 birch slabs going right. Like so. I'm then going to, just for fun, bring the end birch slab down with a plank. Right by 2. Down 3. Left 1. Down 1. This is more so for me than for you, and you'll see why later, because I want to make sure that I don't overestimate this number in total, because I marked that specifically for the slabs, because that's how far you need, and I don't want to, like, screw something up and be like, okay, we need the slabs further or something. On the other side, on the left, you want to do a similar thing. The only difference is the number is not 51. From this nether brick fence, you're going to go left with 30 birch slabs. Like so. In line with the bottom polished deep slate here on either staircase side, I'm going to just take this bottom one and extend out with 16 oak planks. Technically, there should be two doorways on this part. But we're only going to add one because you can't see the second one on either side. So you'll then place a birch plank and I'm going to say extend it up by 2. I have the right one squared off for some reason and not rounded, but I'm going to make them both rounded. You'll then place an oak plank on top. Extend over with 4 birch. You'll then place an oak plank and extend it down with 3 birch. Again, this door would presumably be copied, but there's no point. I actually might tell you to shorten that by a block. You can't see the end of it on either side, so, like, it's up to you. But the way that I have this one, it would look like it goes further, but it technically shouldn't, I guess. I don't know. So I'm going to switch it to 3 birch rather than 4 along the top. Starting from the beginning, I guess, on both sides, you're going to... well, you can, let's say 4 row of oak at the top. That's a good starting point, I think. Going just all the way along the birch slabs. Like this. And then the next row down, you would go from the staircase out with 3 oak planks and then a dark oak plank. I will extend the dark oak down with another oak and then surround that oak in more dark oak. This is like the Faz wheel logo in Security Breach that's everywhere. Except it'd be Indigo Park's version. You'll fill out the rest of these walls with oak planks just down to the bottom line of oak that we've added. So far. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. You know how it is, recording more of this. I am scared as we get to this point in this, though. Because this section is going to take forever. And then it's just straight into landing pad, of course, so that's not going to be better, but oh well. I will also say members do be wary because there is always a chance I make a stupid mistake here and I don't notice it for a part. So Yeah, if you're, like, on time with it, then cool, but... Or if you're not on time with it, then cool. Like, if you're a little bit later. I shouldn't make anything stupid happen, but also it's me, so you never know. Um, you'll then place 3 rows of stone slabs off the bottom row of oak coming out. And you can go inside of the doorways here as well if you'd like. If you're watching this publicly and you're, like, worried about that, don't worry about it, because I will, if it happens, I'll get it fixed. It shouldn't happen. I feel like the chances of it happening are very slim, but it always is a possibility. Because the way that I go about doing these, like, sometimes I could just make a screw up and it could be in a weird spot to where I don't notice it until the next part, but it's something that I wouldn't want to fix in a part, and I would want to actually have edited in the original, you know? But, again, shouldn't really happen, but it could. From this point, you should have this. I want to take the oak and birch at the left side here and extend the just end of it. Really, I'm going to take whatever block. I'll just take the oak plank here. I'm going to extend it forward diagonally left by 20. I'm just going to, like, do this. I'm just going to place a bunch, and then I'm going to count it after, because 20 is a big number. I'm going to say, like, there. Remove all these end ones, and then I can count it. I think that's not enough. Yeah, I'm at 14, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Cool, and you can bring the whole wall. You technically won't have to. But I'm going to anyway, because there's no point in not. Okay, I can't reach it. I'm too short. I'm more so thinking about, though, like, an issue that I would find is I do something wrong on the exterior and then screw up the interior, but I think more so the issue would actually end up becoming with this wall, like one of these walls, and then I would notice it later when trying to connect a building into it. But I think worst case, especially as, like, with the outside of that wall, if I need to, I can just extend something over. It's not a huge deal. From this point, you want to... that's really annoying. I can't technically give you a number. Wait, no, actually I can. If you take the... Out of these diagonals, what is it? I think it's the 5th or the 4th. 3rd? So as you start this part here, we're going to start with this slab row. Make sure you start it on, or in line with the 4th slab here. This 4th diagonal. So you'll go across here is where you would start. I'm just a block off, but you'll see that kind of screws some things up later. But yeah, just make sure you're there, and... yeah, you'll know if you're wrong later, trust me. You're going to just bring this out with stone slabs for really as far as you want. The number doesn't matter right now, but just some amount. I'm going to, off of each diagonal to the right of this, place 4 slabs coming out. And I want to add an extra one here as well to kind of make it a clean diagonal. You can't see it, but it's there. You want to bring at least the start of these stone slabs left an additional 2 rows. Don't bring the full thing, only go like that far maybe. You'll want to go further than that eventually. But, because the platform we're about to build will jut out, I don't want to fill further and then be like, surprise, you got to remove that. Because, yeah. You want to start from this oak plank and go out. You want to go out with 21 polished deep slate. You'll then go right, forward, forward diagonally right, forward 2. Oh, it juts out more. That's good. Forward diagonally right, forward by 5? Yes. You'll have to break stone slabs for this, but if you have more on the far end, you can leave them. Forward forward diagonally left, forward 2. Forward diagonally left, forward, left, and then forward by 9. Cool. Now, I would say up diagonally left of that, you'll have slabs. However, there is one fun exception to this. The row of 2 we have going left to right, the only spot where the rows actually kind of connect and are not just at a diagonal, you'll go up diagonally left with a polished deep slate, left, up diagonally left, left by... is it just 1 there? It is just one there. Oh, I got trolled by the fences because they go further, and I saw that. I was like, wait, what? Get rid of your dark oak planks and get out nether brick fence, and on top of each of these kind of diagonals, you'll just place nether brick fence, including the original row, like so. And then kind of just excluding that, you'll go up diagonally left from the polished deep slate here with slabs. And then what you would end up doing is you would place these slabs, and then you'd have another row of blocks to the left, and then you'd go up diagonally left with slabs again, and then left with blocks once more. And it would give you something like this on the straightaway part, at least. And then for the diagonal part, it's not really difficult. Just follow the shape. I don't know. That's really all I got for you. Just follow the shape. And then it should just kind of figure itself out almost. And eventually, once you hit the top on this particular part, the diagonal, you will just kind of fill a flat line back with polished deep set. As in, you know, just fill back to the point that we kind of have already established from a couple other areas. And yeah, it should look like this. And then we do still have this side, but this side's annoying. Not really. We'll have to break some of it later. But I'm not worried about it. Cool. This is another one of those sections where off of pretty much every polished deep set, you would have 3 stone slabs going out of it, which would be to the right in this instance. Yeah, and this is, again, how we added the extra blocks on the diagonals to make it 4 over on the other side. We want to do the same here. I want to first establish this, though, and just kind of fill all of this in. So you just have the 3s like so. And then instead of actually trying to mathematically figure that one out, you just add another block kind of around the, like, not edges, but on the side of each row. So if I'm looking at it straight on like this, I'm going to add another one off the side of the row of 2, then off this row of 3, one to the side, then off this row of 6, one to the side, and then same thing over there. Just so it's a little bit more defined. It doesn't really matter a ton if you have it like that, because we're not going to use that to mark anything ever. So, yeah. Let's do the thing I've been dreading, which is the circle. So head back to the staircase here, and in the direct center 2 blocks, which is just these 2 bricks between the door, you're going to kind of off the bottom of the staircase place some red nether bricks like so in line with it. You'll then place from either of them 2 cyan terracotta, 2 red nether brick, and then 1 cyan terracotta. Extend the cyan left and right by 2 to give you a row of 6. You'll then go forward diagonally out 1 and out 3. So you can see how we're doing this. Forward diagonally out 1 and out 2. It's a big circle, I'm telling you that right now. Forward diagonally out and out. Then again, forward diagonally out and out. Whoopsies, that's... Okay, there we go. Forward diagonally out 2 and forward. I really just like tried to skip to the next step because I was thinking about it wild. Then forward diagonally out and forward again. Forward diagonally out and forward 2. Forward diagonally out and forward 3. I'm struggling. There we go. Forward diagonally out and forward 5. And if you don't need the rest, then it's just the same. However, if you do, forward diagonally in and forward 3. Oh, it's so far away. Forward diagonally in and forward 2. Forward diagonally in and forward twice. Forward diagonally in 2 and in 1. Forward diagonally in and in 3. Forward diagonally in, and you should connect with 4 together kind of between those. And if you look from above, as you can see, that is quite the large circle. From each of the 4 1 diagonals, you want to go in with, what is that, 7 1 diagonals? Yeah, you just kind of want to go in diagonally towards the center of the circle by 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 is there. Cool. And then we'll make the inner circle, and then instead of trying to figure out numbers, we can just connect from the outer circle to the inner circle in the spots we need to. Like so. That kind of end diagonal you'll bring either direction with one cyan that does not connect it into the rest of the diagonal. So from this one to be forward and right, you know, just like, you just keep it away. Almost go towards the center, as if you're creating a square. Wow, that actually really makes it look like I'm going to create a square. You're then going to go kind of from each side of that. It'd be diagonally out one, and then, I guess diagonally out and in at the same time, and then in one. If you're at this front left one, you go forward diagonally, right, and right. And then this one forward diagonally, left, and left, and you get the drill. And then you would copy that again, so you have 2 rows of the kind of 2 diagonal coming from each one. And you can probably guess what's next. You would then go another diagonal out and just connect together from there with what should end up being rows of 4. And if you have rows of 4, congrats, you've done pretty much everything correctly so far. And you should have a circle inside of another circle. And if you look at it, it looks kind of cool as is, actually. Reminds me of Aperture logo. It's a little different, I know, but it's like kind of quickly glancing at it. I love Portal. You want to take, okay, if you look at each kind of side of the circle, I know they don't have sides, but just like, you know, the flat sides as far as Minecraft blocks are concerned, you want to take the, out of the inner diagonals of 2, you want to take the outer blocks of them and extend them out by 2. I guess towards you by 2. You'll then go forward diagonally out 1, forward 2, forward diagonally out, forward 2. And you can see it'll connect into, out of this row forward, the outermost block at the center 2. And you'll do that on each of the sides. So again, I'll take the outermost of the 2 and extend toward me 2. Forward diagonally out, forward 2, forward diagonally out, forward 2. It's a little weird, but it works. I don't know. I'm gonna go backwards for this one. I'm feeling kind of rebellious. Okay. And then I misplace a block. So much for that. Wow, Baldi's looking small from here. Anywho, it should give you this. Do I want to fill in with red nether bricks? Might not be a bad idea. Might not be a bad idea. Yeah, sure. Excluding the center of the circle. Leave the center of the, I guess, center circle. That looks, the shadow looks crazy. Looks like a Ferris wheel. But leave this center circle open. But between the circles, you're filling in with red nether bricks. You can also fill outside of it, I guess. I don't really think there's any negative to that. Like, you could take the, maybe the back row of the cyan here and extend right with red nether bricks to connect into the stone there. And maybe I can also, just for fun, bring it left and connect it forward into that last slab there. You won't actually need it that far, but, like, well, why not? You know, just kind of to get some of it filled in so we have more of a surface to work with rather than just being suspended in the air. And then, yeah, you can just fill in this giant rectangle pretty much. Again, making sure you leave that center circle open. Do I want to slash fill this and then just break that? That, I think, is faster. I'm going to do that, yeah. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't, because there are a lot of things that can go wrong here. Breaking the wrong thing, forgetting to do keep. That is the big one, because if you forget keep on it and, you know, you fill over the circle, it's just gone. There's no takesy-backsies on slash fill. I would love for Minecraft to add an undo option. That would save me not that much time. I don't mess up that often. Every time I think of slash fill though and messing up, I think of actually 2 examples now. Removing the entirety of the Jumbotron in the atrium after I had just finished it, and that was painful. And in the backrooms map, I was filling the ocean, and I was filling like at the top layer so the water would just pour down, and I filled with sand like 30,000 blocks. And what do you know, they all fell to the ground, and oh my god, was that laggy. Probably definitely up there for the worst lag I've had with any sort of command. It was bad. My brain just autopiloted, I don't know why, to sand, and it was, yeah. Funny, it was really funny, because I think... No, I think it was Horthon was in the world. It was like me and one other person, I think. Me or one or two other people. It was fun. And then I think I demonstrated that again on stream. Not in the ocean, somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, it's laggy when you do that. Anyway, you should end up with this. Cool. You could fill further back if you wanted, but I'm not going to. What we can fill, though, is the circle. So, just clear your inventory, whatever, and get out the following. Moss blocks. We're not going to do the rooted dirt here because there's no point. Although we will get out bone meal to still bone meal it. I hope this won't create mass destruction. Spruce planks. Spruce stairs. Spruce slabs. Seagrass. I did not know you could place seagrass on anything, but apparently you can. Water buckets. Stone. I just didn't grab it, apparently. That's cool. And stone stairs. So, within the circle, you want to place 2 rows of moss, but not fully. Now, okay, this is stupid. That's a stupid way to word it. Just place 2 off of the inside of the rows of 4 and the rows of 2. Cyan. Kind of like this. So just ignore the corners. We don't want the corner to be filled. Kind of. We actually might still have to break. I'm not sure. You can just fill the 1 block, actually, that you leave. I don't really see the point in not filling that. But the reason that I word it this way is because we want this shape, essentially. You do not want to fill... like this. You don't want another block there in the corner. You want almost these sharper corners on it. It'll help with the stairs. But anyway, you want to fill in this entire middle space with spruce planks. Is that going to get eaten? No, it will not. Cool. Just wanted to make sure. Oh, that was one fun thing with Playco, is some of the blocks that I used to texture would get eaten by the moss. So when you would bone meal the moss that is next to the facility, it would just get rid of some of the, like, calcite, or not calcite, diorite was, I think, the main one. So, yeah. Also the coarse dirt and stuff. Should give you this. You do want to bone meal the moss specifically. You can wait on this if you want. I'm gonna not, because... Can you give me a normal... Thank you. It gave me all flowering azaleas, practically. What is that? But I'm gonna remove the flowering azaleas as well. So... you're gonna have to kind of... I don't want to say hear me out on this, but you're gonna have to kind of trust the process. On the edges of the spruce, you want to place upside down spruce stairs. However, the ends of the rows are going to curve inwards. Where they can. That really only applies to the row of 4 and these rows of 2 here. So, like, you'll want this one facing out and the one to the right of it you'll have facing in. As for the corners here, you'll just have these stairs wrap around as they should. This will leave gaps, yes, but we're going to worry about that in a sec. Just kind of get the stairs placed in like this. Probably should have done the moss after in hindsight. But too bad. You can still see actually on this side. Like, you see how that stair and there's kind of the gap right there. And then you got the one here. It will create quite the holdy experience. As in Swiss cheese holding, kind of. That's what we're going with. But we'll fix it in a second. Not yet, though. Because I'm still filling this. That's why. That's the reason, pretty much. Oh my goodness, plays faster. It's really directed at myself. Anyway, you should have this. You see if I look from the inside, actually, you can see all the holes. You want to pretty much plug all those holes with spruce slabs from the inside. So where you see, like, you have these 2 stairs kind of with the gap between them. Boink, slab, slab, slab. You get the point. Really, it's just behind the edges of the rows of 4 and off of the edges of the, or I guess the sides of the corner. Which should look like this. Cool. Before we fill this, bring up 2 rows of stone in the dead center. It should be a 2x2 center, so just bring up like a cube's worth of stone, like so. And you know where this is, because it's just kind of between those slabs on each side. On top of this, you do the funny stair thing. So this is actually the same as glazed terracotta, funnily enough, if you are familiar with that. On the front left corner, place a stone stair facing forward. Count to the right of that and turn to the left and place another. Count to the right, turn to the left, place another. Count to the right, turn to the left, place another. Cool. You then want to fill in the middle of this kind of in line with the spruce with water. Don't fill it any more than just a row up. You do want to make sure you waterlog the slabs, but do not click on the stairs whatever you do. It will do this, and you do not want that one happening. As you can see, there is now water everywhere, and I think I'm going to need a sponge to actually get rid of this now. I've made mistakes, but it was worth for the example. Cool. It will sometimes be uneven. I don't know why. Like, where the slabs are, you see it's lower. I don't know what that's about, but that is Minecraft doing Minecraft things. Anyway, on each spruce plank on the bottom here, just kind of fill with seagrass, the whole thing. Why am I filling like this? What am I doing? Oh, that's not waterlogged. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, so that's a fun way to check. If you can't place it, it's because it's not waterlogged. Cool bug facts. Yeah, I didn't notice that. That makes sense, but I was like, what? That can't be me. Thought Minecraft was bugging and it actually had placed, but it like didn't show that it placed, you know? Because it does that sometimes. Mainly a trapdoor thing, actually. If you like open a trapdoor and try to place it at the same time, if you time your crouch perfectly, it'll like act like it placed the trapdoor, but it'll actually just open or close the one below it instead. It's kind of funny. Anyway, I should give you this. They dancing. That's so weird how in sync they are. That looks like a rave. Anyway, clear your inventory and get out the following. Oh, this is gonna be scuffed. Andesite stairs. Andesite. Andesite slabs. And that should be it. On top of both the back and front rows, you're doing this. On the left half, you're placing andesite stairs facing left. On the right half, upside down stairs facing left. You'll have to place at least one placeholder for that. On top of either row, you'll place andesite blocks. On top of those blocks, you'll have upside down andesite stairs facing away from each other. So on the left, they face left. On the right, they face right. And on top of those, just regular andesite stairs facing towards each other. Like so. Now, only for the front row from these blocks, you'll take the front right block and place a slab to the right. From only the back row, you want to take the stair, the bottom stair at the back left here, and place an upside down slab left of it. Stand that up with a slab, left with a block, and then up with a slab again. That's a little rambly, yippee. Do I want to start with that? It might be funny. Yeah, sure, why not? We can start getting the Lloyd building kind of in. We're not going to get very far with it. I just want to get, like, the main, at least, like, bottom filled out, and then we can maybe start getting the base of the building put in. Get out the following. Strip spruce wood. Oh, yeah, you know what time it is. Nether brick fence. Stone. I'm actually already terrified. Cobbled deep slate. Oak trap doors. Blackstone stairs. Warped planks. And we're just going to go with that. So, how do I avoid doing the floor for as long as possible? I don't think I can, actually. You want to take the... Well, no, yes, I can. You want to take the backmost diagonal of oak planks and take the second one from the top, which is this one, and place an oak trapdoor open against it. Extend that forward by 5. These are going to be kind of annoying to place. And then you want to, off the front and back of that row, place a cobble deep slate each. Let me resituate my inventory here. You want to make sure from this front cobble deep slate you have a gap of 2 and then this polished deep slate. If you don't, check your diagonals just in general. Make sure you have 120 diagonals. Make sure that this is on the 4th And yeah, worst case, if you are wrong, you can structure block the whole thing just a diagonal forward. But yeah, you want to also actually get out spruce planks, and going kind of behind this cobble deep set, which would be just in that direction, you want to place 3 spruce planks. Then go left with 3 stone, forward 2, left 3, back, left, back, left by 5. And then you can check and make sure that this one, if you trace it forward, is in line with this kind of polished deep set here. Back diagonally left of that, you will have a warped plank. I will have a gap of 2 going left of that and place another. Forward diagonally left with a stone. Left 5. Forward. Left. Forward. Left 3. Back 2. Left 3. Forward with 2 spruce planks. A cobbled deep slate. Then 6 oak trap doors open to the left half of their blocks. And then another cobbled deep set. And again, you should be 2 away from the polished deep set. You won't be on the end one. You technically should be. But that's more so because this will have to be shaved down eventually, kind of at an angle. But I'm not worried about that just yet. You can, for these rows with the cobbled deep set, you can extend each cobbled deep set up by 7. I think that was right. It might actually have been 6. If it is, we'll just shave it down a block. I'm not worried about it. On top of the oak trap doors, you'll place repeated rows of upside-down black stone stairs facing in, and then rows of oak trap doors until you are... You should be on, I think, the 4th row of trap doors, and you're in line with the second to last cobbled deep set, which means that we're correct. Just like so. And then same thing on the other side. I have no idea how long this video is anymore, man. I'm lost in the sauce. Gonna go solely off vibes now. And then just on top of that top row of trapdoors, you can get out black stone slabs and place a row of them. I'm going to immediately get rid of those black stone slabs and get out black concrete. And this left one, I'm going to, off the back side of each trapdoor, just place black concrete. You have to, again, crouch to place these. But you want to make sure they're blocked off, because there's no wall behind that. So, you know, you don't want to be able to see through it particularly. Next up, the kind of top area here, just behind the polished deep set, you're doing that fun floor pattern again. So if you need reiteration, you want to, just pick a block, I don't know, and place a strip spruce wood facing front to back. Off each side of it, you're placing sideways strip spruce wood, like so. And then off each side of that, well, I guess you're placing them left to right. And then off each side of that, they'll face front to back. Off each side of that, left to right, etc., etc. The one thing I'll tell you is do not fill, well, fill just in front of the warped, but don't fill between them. And then on this side here, just fill in line with the cobbled deep set and stop. So I'll show you what I mean here, since I can. Just stop right there. And then the rest, again, should be pretty self-explanatory. But, yeah. This is always my favorite. I just love filling this kind of stuff. Don't you guys? It's such a fun time. Anyway. I don't think I'm going to start this building yet. I kind of want to just ignore starting it, because that sounds like a better idea. I don't want to, like, try to commit to starting it and then be like, yeah, we're going to get a quarter of it done and then move on to the next part. I don't like the idea of that. So, we're gonna do as much else as we can, I guess. I don't know. That's great. I'm so glad that I just did that. There we go. That's more like it. Still gonna find a way to mess it up somehow. The difference in mistakes is kind of diabolical between some of these maps, though. Although, actually, just between parts. Like, some parts I'll be perfect, I won't have an issue. And then there's parts like this, where just, like, a couple little things. Or big things. But it's like, man... Normally I'm either, like 0 or 1 mistake, or it's like 5. There's just not an in-between. Those parts are infuriating, though. I remember there was one part in PPT2, I was just sick of it, because I kept... It was just mistake after mistake. It was one of the final ones of the game station section. I just, like, it was awful. I had one, I think, in this series that was sort of like that. It wasn't, I don't think, that bad, but... There was like 3 or 4 little oopsies that I made. Even if it's just a counting oopsie. It happens, and it counts, you know? If I have to take a cut to fix it, it's probably a major enough mistake. Anyway. Although the mistake I'm referring to here would have been with this section being wrong. You probably would have noticed that little cut in. It's a lovely one. And this is so really annoying to fill with the spacing. Okay, I'm filling off of this wall. It's going to be easier. That was surprisingly a lot easier, actually, yeah. Anywho, you should end up with this. One more thing before we leave the section for later. Well, actually, probably 2. Take these fences on either side and extend back with 2 nether brick fence. Then leave a gap of 1 and place a stone. Then behind those stones, you'll leave a gap of 3 and place another. Just for fun, clear your inventory and get out light gray concrete and crimson trapdoors. I want to get these in, because why not? They are not symmetrical, because why would they be? On the left side, because that's where I am right now, it's going to be against the kind of slatted wall here, the second trapdoor from the back. So this one, you'll place a light gray concrete to the right of, with the crimson trapdoor off the front and back of the block, and then the one on top. The one on the right will be against the stone wall, and it's the furthest right block of this kind of row of 4 that sticks forward. You'll just have one on the front and top, since you can't place one on the back. Anything else? I could mark this wall, technically. Yeah, why not? Get out oak planks and stripped oak wood. And I think this will also make sure that everything is correct in another way, because we can see where this lines up as opposed to that, which will be good, just kind of across. So starting from the cobble deep say row here, if you're looking at it, you're going to go back diagonally left with an oak plank. Extend left 2. Back diagonally left. Left 2. Then back diagonally left with a stripped oak wood facing up. And I can actually bring all of this down to kind of just fill in line with the staircase. So the stripped oak will be brought down by 3. And then this row of oak is mainly the issue. We have to break these slabs and kind of like that. I am also going to break this top polished deep slate here and replace it with an oak plank. But that one's kind of personal preference. But you can see what that kind of gives you. Anyway, from there, that oak plank, or that bottom stripped oak wood here, sorry, you'll extend left 2. Back diagonally left. Left 2. Back diagonally left. Left 2. Back diagonally left. Left 2. And you want this to where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 8 of these segments of 3, including what we've done. So 1, 2, the third is with the stripped oak. 4, 5. I currently have 6. That would be 7, and then that would be 8, as you can see. Then from there, you can actually get out polished deep slate, and I guess I'll get out tinted glass, why not? And from this oak plank here, I'll go back diagonally left with another oak. Left with 3 polished deep slate. 3 oak planks. That was not oak planks. There we go. 3 polished deep slate, and it should just be 2 oak planks. Yes. Each polished deep slate will be brought up with 3 tinted glass and another polished deep slate. These windows aren't real. They don't lead anywhere. They're just here. So you can fill them with a lot of things if you want. I use tinted glass, but you can still kind of see the blocks through them. Well, it's very obvious with night vision, but so is that actually a good part to use as reference? I don't think so. Actually, it can be, yeah. If you take this end oak plank and kind of trace it forward, you'll end up in line with the singular one diagonal of the circle right here. We can keep going, though, so get out, lodestones. Where are lodestones? Where the hell are they? Are they in decorative stone? No. Oh, they're right there. Smooth quartz blocks. Smooth quartz slabs is a maybe. Stone slabs and crimson slabs. From this oak plank directly left, you'll place a lodestone and extend it forward. Place on top of either one 4 smooth quartz. And then the top smooth quartz row, you'll extend left another row. Extend the back block left. And then back by 2. Then either of those back blocks will bring left with a smooth quartz each. And then you'll take the back row and extend down with 3 smooth quartz and then a lodestone, like so. Underneath kind of the rest of the top blocks here, you want to place smooth quartz. The only exception is this very corner, you'll place an upside down slab below. I'm going to, on the inside, bring the smooth quartz in a little bit more to almost create like an X shape, like so. You can kind of see it'll just tuck behind these rows. Not entirely important yet, but still might as well add it. Extend each lodestone kind of towards each other with 2 crimson slabs, which will literally fill out exactly what we want. It'll look like this. There's nothing else to it, really. You then want to take the, out of the left row of crimson slabs, the frontmost one, and place a smooth quartz block to the left with a slab on top. Left of that block, 2 stone slabs, and is this any more helpful? It is in line with the outer row of the circle as well. That's good. Or the outer row of the spruce circle, I should say. But what you can do from that point is bring this end slab and extend forward diagonally right, forward, forward diagonally right, right, forward diagonally right. And then this is another situation to where you have the 3s going in general. Now, you'll bring this straight across, and you're going to be for this first wall with the windows, you're going to be 4 blocks in total. So what you would end up doing is going until you're in line with this final block of this row of 3. And then you would go forward, right 3, forward, right 3, and just repeat that until you connect into this slab row here. And then you can kind of fill in between the wall and the slabs with more slabs. Little strange, but not too bad. We'll add the details in the pathway later, probably. I think I want to get buildings done first. So, next part, we'll probably do these 2 buildings that we've just marked. And then maybe we'll finish up the kind of, this corner, just so we don't have to come back here. Until I guess we have to do the other stuff, but it's not as important. Do I want to go back on this side any? Yeah, actually, we can. On the left side here, I want to take this inner lodestone, and we're going to extend back with, to start, just 2 oak planks, and I'm going to bring each of them up by 4, because I do want to finish this wall, sort of. You'll then, behind that, place 10 oak planks? Yes, from the bottom only. You'll then have 3 rows of tinted glass on that, and then another oak plank row. And then behind that, just 3 more full rows of oak planks. Then from the bottom, 3 polished jeepsite, 2 oak planks. And I'll bring those oak planks all the way up and connect over where the polished jeepsite is, but I won't do anything else with that. And yeah, that is where I'm going to end. Sorry, that might have been a little bit longer than normal. I see that was about 40. Well, I guess 45 isn't too long, but that was a good estimation for having 0 idea what time it was. I had to go back and check all the video clip lengths to make sure we were at least long enough. Anyway, thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys did enjoy, or I guess once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 15 of Indigo Park, Chapter 1 complete, I think. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, we're getting there for sure. It's gonna be a lot of buildings for the next kind of grind part of this. I actually might end up just finishing all the buildings first and then going back and adding the pathway stuff, because a lot of the pathway stuff is just like the same 3 things. So, anyway, with that being said, though, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.